Excited for my next fight. It was a misunderstanding between Turkey and my team. Let's work. People aren't really liking that. They're thinking it's a grovelling apology. I don't think it's grovelling, but it throws up a lot of questions, doesn't it? This is Shakur Stevenson apologising, or not really, because he's saying it's not my fault, it's the team. Take one for the team, but apologising ostensibly to Turki Alal Shikh, who of course is a big time promoter now in Riyadh season. And what people are saying, and where you sit is where you stand here, but it throws some very important and very interesting thoughts up here. First thing is that people are saying that Shakur Stevenson's team, I'll say that rather than Shakur himself, were not happy because the amount of money he was going to get to fight William Zepeda, who is interim WBC champ, was less than he got to fight, as people say, electrician Josh Padley. Now, let's make the first point here. You've got to have an understanding of your worth. You've got to have an understanding of your worth in the business of boxing. If you don't, that could be problematic for you. Now, number one, people aren't exactly convinced by Shakur Stevenson at the highest level. He needs a defining fight so that people say, he's the coming man. He's got great skills, but can he really turn it on? Now, Josh Padley had no fear because he had nothing to lose coming into that enormous card recently, and so he might well have turned it on. But let's say he had no real camp, of course. I think he was told, put your screwdriver down, put your tools away, and get on a plane. I'm not sure he wasn't, but it's that kind of thing. So you'd expect Shakur Stevenson to get him the F out of there, would you not? He needed to do that too, to convince us that yes, actually, he is what people think he is and what his team clearly think he is. Something a bit special. But he didn't on that night, did he? He tended to want to move. He tended to want to be in control, but not really get him out of there. Padley had a bit of a go and was actually doing all right. I know he's on a hiding to nothing, really, Shakur Stevenson. But if you are in that situation, you need to get that person out of there or be honest afterwards. Okay, there's many reasons why I didn't do so well. I wasn't actually prepared for that fight. I probably wasn't prepared for the fight at all, or mentally, because it's a difficult situation. Yeah, I know. I need to be a bit humble because I could have done better. I don't remember that being those being the words afterwards. I don't think. So really, if you're saying, I deserve more money, yes, there's a point about, well, okay, this is a higher fight. But then you have to have conversations about your own worth, and you're not there yet. People said at the end of that Padley fight that the Padley went badly for Shakur because he didn't put him out of there. So you've got to say, okay, I need to take a hit here to prove that, I mean, it's a tough match for him versus Zepeda, but I need to turn it on here. It's kind of all or nothing for me because people are still a bit concerned about the work. And if I can do this and get through this, if I can do it and get through it, then I'm going to get more money and then I can make those claims rather than doing it now. The other thing is you have to make an apology to Turki Alal Shikh because of his influence. And we've got the boxing league coming up, haven't we? Which appears to have mid-range and less moneyed fighters. Seems to be involved in that, but it's a control situation, isn't it? And I don't know what I think about it yet because it's still quite nascent. But I am aware that if you're making a grovelling apology, whether you've been told, I don't think it was grovelling, but whether you've been told to do that by your promoter, or whether your team have done it, or whether you've thought, I really should do that, that's a power thing, isn't it? And if you are saying, well, you know what? I didn't like the reduced purse, but I'm gonna accept it because this man is the one who puts the fights together, and he does. Is that good for boxing? Is it good to have a power player there who's so high up above the people because there's so much money in that? Is that good for boxing? I'll let you decide on that one. But you know what? Having to offer an apology because you fear you might have offended somebody, that's not what usually happens in boxing, is it? So this is a real power play. And I'm not aware that His Excellency did anything. Not aware that he made any other comments. Did he? I don't think so. And to have to do that shows how much power that particular gentleman has in boxing. There are lots of other discussions to be had about this situation, aren't there? But as far as boxing goes, what do we think about that? It's a new situation, all this Riyadh business and all the boxing, and people are delighted with fantastic cards. But there needs to be another discussion about it, doesn't there? If all the power is concentrated in one area, is that the best thing for boxing? Is boxing stumbling into something here? Is it going to be bad for boxing? We don't know yet. But this kind of situation makes you want to consider. As for Shakur Stevenson, there was already a concern about how serious things were with you for boxing. Now, that's just turned up a notch. Ta-ta.